They just kept serving him drink after drink after drink.
And then the driver got behind the wheel and crashed, killing himself and a passenger. Should the bar that served him have to pay? Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 6.
A father whose child was the passenger in that crash is now suing the bar he believes let the driver drink too much. He has a message for other businesses selling and serving alcohol that he hopes will save other lives. Channel 4's Nancy Ames is here with a story you won't see anywhere else. Nancy?
There is an important message a grieving father wants everyone to hear. Places that serve alcohol share the legal responsibility for seeing that their patrons don't leave and drive drunk.
When I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing that hits me is my son has passed.
28-year-old Mitchell Sweat was out celebrating someone's birthday January 19th. It would be the last night of his life. He was Robert Sweat's only child.
He was obviously conscious. He was moaning, and then one of the witnesses said that by the time the fire department got there, he had been burning for several minutes.
Mitchell Sweat died, police say, in the passenger seat of the Lexus driven by his girlfriend's father, Larry Bowers. Police say the car swerved and hit a tree 2 miles from the bar on Nolensville Road where Bowers and Sweat had been drinking. Mitchell's father blames the bar for over-serving Bowers.
They just kept serving him drink after drink after drink, knowingly that he was drunk.
His blood alcohol level was above 0.2, which is twice the legal limit.
Attorney Rocky McElhaney has filed a $15 million lawsuit against the owner of TNT Billiards for what he says Mitchell Sweat went through. He burned to death, pinned in the wreckage. In Tennessee, places that serve alcohol can be held responsible for over-serving patrons and letting them drive drunk.
Serving someone too much alcohol is like throwing a rattlesnake in a crowd of people.
They could have either cut him off or made sure they had a ride home or a cab or anything other than driving home.
The owner of TNT Billiards said his lawyer advised him not to give an interview.
I don't know what to do with myself anymore, so.
Robert Sweat is struggling to cope with the grief of losing his son.
He had the brightest blue eyes that I've ever seen. He was a great person. He was a beautiful person. He had a good soul, and he loved a lot of people. He was a type of person that liked all.
Now, there's a state law that makes it illegal to provide alcohol to someone who's visibly intoxicated. Demetria?
Tiffany, what's the location of your emergency? There is on exit number 238 off of eastbound I-40. There's a back truck that just hit a woman. He rolled on her. We need an ambulance.
I was crossing the road. I waved at everybody and everything, let them know I was passing through.
He waved to her to go ahead, and I can't believe he just did that. She has body parts showing.
I was at the shoulder of the road, and this 18-wheeler came plunging down on me. He drove me 58 feet. 6.5 inches of it got cut off.
Oh, dear Lord, her legs were crushed. Don't look, Kelly, don't look.
I didn't know if I was going to live or die.
Dear God, I hope she will too.
I looked up the road, I noticed that there was a dump truck in the middle of the road. My friend said, that looks like your wife out there on the ground. When I got up there, she was laying on the ground. A man had a belt around her leg and her foot was gone. The calf was gone. The ankle was gone. She looked at me, she said, my leg's gone, baby. I prayed to God. I asked God to give my wife to live. When I got to the hospital, I went down to the ER. The doctors come through and they had a good team. They had about 12, 14 doctors there. All I asked them, is she gonna live? They said, we can't tell you right now. The hospital approached me about the hospital bills, what type of insurance I had. I was scared. So I knew it was time to hire an attorney. Rocky fought for me and my wife. Wasn't just an attorney, a lawyer. Rocky was a friend to me. And Rocky's a good man, a damn good man. It wasn't about the money. It was about my wife getting well, my wife walking again, us being able to have what we had before 4:30, May 29th, 2014.
Like I said, I will be walking again. I will be walking again.
Thank you. Thank you.
gonna make me cry.
Thank you.
And whenever we have a problem, we'll call Rocky. This has been a dream come true for us, you know. Me and Sherry's talked a lot about this. We lost her leg, but this is going to open doors because of you. It's going to open doors for us that would have never in our life ever been opened. He took this case and he worked on them every day, every single day. We settled in 3 months.
When I was 15 years old, my father injured his back at work. The insurance company didn't treat my dad right, didn't pay him in a timely manner, didn't provide medical care, didn't really care. It took 3 years for Dad to get the surgery he needed. My family struggled in the meantime. We even lost our house and had to move. But he got a lawyer and we got justice. That's the moment I decided to become an attorney.
I'm Rocky McElhaney. I'm a fighter. This is my ring. I've built a law firm of tough, dedicated professionals, gladiators in suits, ready to fight for you.
The firm was founded on the principle that doing well means doing what is right. Sometimes doing what's right is not profitable. But I get emotional when I hear what we built, you know? Anyway, doing what's right leads to greater things than profits, like our relationship with the wind pusher, right? Who knows the wind pusher? Show of hands. You know wind pusher, he stayed at our house. Herbert Brown. Herbert Hewless Brown. Lifelong friend of the firm. I lost $4,000 representing Herbert Brown, but he comes and sees us every time he's in Nashville. Good friend. I got to go to the City Club with Herman Bradley and sit down and just soak him up. And when I got introduced into the Davidson County Courts, Herman went over and introduced me, and I got a picture of that in my office. But Herman told me one time, he said, talking about ethics, he said, it's easy to be ethical when you're rich. He said it's hard to be ethical when you ain't. He said, what you got to do is figure out how to be ethical while you're trying to get rich. So, which I thought was really good advice. And he also told me, he said, if you'll do a good job at a fair price in a timely manner, you'll have more work than you can ever do. So those are like the two things that Herman gave me that I take with me forever.
Unlike some, we don't back down because the opponent is big or the fight is tough. We squared off with some of America's largest corporations and billion-dollar insurance companies and won. Over the past 14 years, we have helped hundreds of people receive maximum compensation, handled landmark cases against General Motors, which allowed hundreds of workers to reopen their claims and get paid more, argued 6 times before the Tennessee Supreme Court, taught other lawyers across the state about workers' compensation, testified before the Tennessee Legislature and Work Comp Advisory Committee on new laws, wrote new laws and amendments, obtained the largest work comp verdict in Maury County history, and received the AFL-CIO Presidential Award and the Tennessee Association for Justice Paladin Award for our commitment to injured workers in Tennessee.
Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. Hurt in a car or truck accident, insurance company won't pay, we'll make them take your case seriously. And if they don't, they can meet us here.
Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. We fight for you.
I'm Rocky McElhaney. I built a law firm to fight for real people. I see their faces, remember their stories,
Making insurance companies pay, it changes lives, heals families. If you or a family member is injured, we're gladiators in suits. Real people. I see their faces, I remember, I fight. But these are the faces I look forward to seeing all day. Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. We fight for you.
It's the first day of trial.
Had there been a car coming, those persons could probably have been killed.
It should have been accommodated, not discriminated. The crime doesn't stop.
Rocky McElhaney is using in a $1.4 million lawsuit.
We'll make them take your case seriously.
If they kept him, if they fired him, it may sting a little bit.
This is gonna open doors because of you.
It's about to get real.
I'm Rocky McElhaney. At my law firm, we don't back down because the opponent is big or the fight is tough. But when the opponent is ALS and over 30,000 Americans are dealing with that deadly disease, it's going to take more fight than any law firm can bring.
The stone cold truth is that most ALS sufferers only have a 2 to 5 year life expectancy. What's even more chilling is that we don't even have enough research to determine all the risk factors, let alone find a cure. My gladiators in suits and I accept Blair Durham's challenge so that we can bring the heat on ALS awareness and help win this fight. We call out John Day, Michael Ponce, and John Peeler. Visit alsa.org/donate to join the fight.
Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. We fight for you.
I think we gotta.
Let Tate do it. Let Tate do it.
Oh no!